Okay, folks, we're back in Excel, and this time we're just going to take a single string of data, kind of all X values or whatever it is, and it's wanting us to calculate 4 things here using Excel. The mean, that's arithmetic average; standard deviation, how far things are away from the mean or how close they are; coefficient of variance; and standard error. Okay. The latter two is because we are taking these from a sample and not the entire population. But it's just a calculation we're interested in here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 numbers here. It's just to make it a little simpler. So 15, 17, 21, 22, 24, 26, 29, 33, 35. I've already inputted them into Excel. Okay, and we see them on the left hand side, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And the 4 things I want to calculate here is firstly the mean. Okay, so for me to calculate the mean, the arithmetic average, okay, that's fine. So what you would usually do is add all the numbers up and divide them by how many. But Excel, that's got a nice way of doing that here. So I'm just going to pick a cell here and I'll just type in mean. And I'm just going to center that. That's fine. Underneath the mean, underneath the cell there, I want to calculate the arithmetic average. So I need to hit, anytime I'm using a formula, I need to hit equals, and I know it is under average. I know because someone told me and I'm telling you. Okay, so it comes up with variations. It's the top one, average. I'm not going to select it. I'm just going to hit an open bracket, and hopefully below that you can see number 1, number 2, whatever. So it wants all the numbers going from 15 down to 35. So if I just go up here, hit the first cell, and then you can see the cell's getting all excited. So I'm just going to bring it all the way down. So that's going from cell A3 all the way down to cell A11, which has got 35 inside it. You can see that it's coming up in the cell, the extended cell below the mean. I need to close a bracket here. Okay, so I'm just looking at what do I think the average should be. Well, somewhere between 15 and 35. So I'm looking kind of, it'll be in the 20s somewhere. Because apart from 15, 17, 33, and 35, everything else is in the 20s. So as soon as I hit return here, it'll give me the answer. Okay, 24 and a half, that's fine. Or 24 and 2/3. Good. I am fine with that. Right. And I'm just going to show you just now. I'm going to get into that answer there, 24.667. I only want it to 2 decimal places for some reason. So I'm going to go and hit home. And you can see where I'm hovering there. It's the one on the right, decreased decimal. So I'm going to hit that. It's taking me down to 2, that's 3. I'll take it down to 2. Okay, we're fine with that. And I'm going to go to home again. And, oh, I was meant to be centering that. It doesn't matter. I am just a freak of nature. Sorry, that's my own title. That's fine. So, calculate the mean average. Let's go to my question here. Calculate the mean, then I'm going to go and calculate the standard deviation. So all we're doing here is using the Excel function. So here, I just want a title, S.D. That'll do me standard deviation for a sample. So I'm going to go to the cell below, type equals, and I know that standard deviation starts STDEV, and because I'm dealing with a sample, I need to go for the second one, that is dot S. I'll just hit dot S, okay? I need to open a bracket. Once I've done that, it's waiting for the cell values again. So if I just go up to my top cell with 15 in it, and again, just bring it all the way down to 35. So that's A3 to A11, but I need to close the bracket here. And my standard deviation for this sample goes to 35 to 15. What's the difference here? That's 20. It's usually divided by 3, and you get a kind of rough estimate. 20 divided by 3 is 6.666. So between 6 and 7 when I hit return, let's see. Yep, 6.8. So that's a good ballpark figure for that there. I'm happy with that there. And again, I'll centre that just for my own benefit. So with this one here, I'm going a lot quicker because I don't need to create any graphs, right? So I've got mean, standard deviation. Oh, I'm going to take that down to 2 decimal places again. So I got there my wee choice, decrease decimal, 1, 2, 6.80, that's fine. So I'm just want to be consistent with all my other stuff. Right, what's the next thing they want us to answer? Coefficient of variance. So that's part 3, coefficient of variance. Right, here, I'm not aware if this updated version of Excel has got that, but I'm sure we've got a little formula sheet, and I'm just going to get into my formula sheets here, because I can't see that I've got it opened here. Just bear with me. Formula. Yep. Got up here. Mean standard deviation formula, plus it's got the other ones that I'm interested in. So it's these two ones in the bottom. Coefficient of variance is actually that one there. Okay. Standard deviation over x, so the mean, times 100, and it's got a percentage here because that's what it's usually expressed as. So as long as I know the standard deviation of this sample and the mean on the bottom, I'm fine. I do, because standard deviation and the mean are in cells I've already produced. That's the standard deviation value, that's the mean value. So up here, I'm going to put the coefficient of variance, just call it that, but I need to go below and put equals. So I'm going to open up a bracket here. It's good to always have a bracket. So let's go. So standard deviation divided by the mean. Right, standard deviation, it's that value. Don't type it in, just hit the cell. Okay? Then hit the symbol for divide, which is the forward slash, I think that's called. And then the mean. Just hit the cell that the mean value is in. Okay? That's fine. And because I'm going to be timesing that by 100, so I've got a feeling I need to put in another bracket at the front. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to close another bracket there. That looks good. And what does it tell me to do in the formula? Sorry, it tells me to multiply by 100. Forget about the percentage sign. I'm going to put that in at the end. So to times that, on my keys, I need to hit shift and 8, or whatever your equivalent of shift is. For me, it's function lock and 8. That little asterisk will come up. That means times for us in Excel. Times by 100. Close the bracket. I'm fine with that. So I've got two black brackets either side and open and close, and internally I've got two brackets open and close either side. That's fine. I'm going to hit equals now, or return. That looks as if it's the value. So that value, because I multiplied it by 100, is a percentage. So I'm going to change that. That's C dot V. I'm going to change that, and just I want to emphasize that is actually a percentage. Okay, that's fine. I don't know why they just don't leave it as a value, like 100th of the size, like 0.27 and a bit. Right, that's just the way they do it. Right, okay, so I'll say again, these are all just Excel calculations. Standard error, let's go for that there. And standard error, let's go and see. So standard error is standard deviation divided by the square root of n. N is just the sample size, how many digits we have in our sample. We've already got standard deviation, so it's one of the cells. So standard error, I'll just write something like S dot E. That'll do. Again, downstairs, I need to hit equals, and again, open a bracket. Let me see, let me go back, just so everybody knows. Standard deviation divided by the square root of n. Okay, let me go back to Excel. So my standard deviation, it's that cell. Just hit it. It comes up B14. Okay. I'm going to hit my divide and hit square root. Square root is SQRT. I then have to open up a bracket, and it wants my sample size. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to put, I know the square root of 9 is 3, but I'm going to put in, I'm going to close a bracket there. So I've got two red brackets, and I've opened and closed. I've only got one black bracket there, which is open, so I need to close a bracket. So hit that. If I hit enter, that should give me the answer. If not, it'll let me know if I've made a mistake. Okay, let's see. There you go, it's given me it. And, well, the first two, I changed the decimal places, so I'm going to do it. So I need to go into my home, up there you go, two decimal places, and go to coefficient of variation. There again, go to the home key, and decrease, decrease, and that is fine. So, have I answered the question? I'll just make it a wee bit bigger. And just come out of there. So I'll get the mean, standard deviation, coefficient of variation, and standard error. Is that what they were asking for? Mean, standard deviation, coefficient of variation, so a coefficient of variance, not variation, and standard error. Right, I think I'm fine with that. So I'm going to leave that there, and we'll deal with one last one. It's probably to do with box plots. Right,